Well, we have a new Gunstock, and oh boy, do I love Gunstocks. Gunstocks for VR. Man, you've come to the right place. If you are looking for a Gunstock for VR with haptics, well, look no further. This is the third generation of Gunstock from Deadeye VR with haptics. Now, the first couple were pistols, really, and then they have a stock with them. I've actually got them here and I'll show you them in a sec, but this new model here, the Revolt, the Enforcer Revolt, the haptics are different. The haptics are actually in the stock of the Gunstock, and there's a cable that's loomed to the back here which actuates the actuator. And I really like what's going on. We've got a half cup design, and you'll see shortly on the game floor how quick you can swap weapons and change out with this. It is absolutely awesome. Now, really nice strap that it comes with. We're going to go through the unboxing. I'm going to step you through the assembly and all the parts, but I really like what's going on. And the controller cups fit straight in there like that. Takes a little bit of getting used to, like most gun stocks, a bit of muscle memory. And once you do, it is a pleasure to use, and it fits really good. This is probably the most secure fitting half cup I've ever used. I've used the original OG valve knuckle index 3D printed half cups, and they were a bit clunky, but this is really good. I'm happy with what's going on here. But let me show you the OG. So that is the OG Enforcer. You can't get this anymore though, and they've made revisions to this which are much better, but that's the original Enforcer. This is the current Enforcer that you can still buy, and this current Enforcer is a haptic pistol. So if we basically release this little latch here, we can pull that off. So if you're someone who wants a haptic pistol, but then can also couple that to a Gunstock, then the Enforcer is for you. If you want a full haptic Gunstock without the haptic pistol, then the Revolt is the solution for you. Now, I've got to be honest, I actually think I like the Revolt the most. To me, this feels like the most complete product. I really like the haptics I'm getting out of the Gunstock. You're resting your chin there and you're firing. It is incredible. It's resonating through your jaw, and that immersion factor is just elevated. Takes a little getting used to, like most things, but you do not have a detachable pistol. That's kind of okay because it can get a bit clunky in gameplay when you're trying to detach, reattach the pistol from the Enforcer, the version 2 that I just showed. So if you're someone that's wanting fast gameplay and fast gunplay, this might be the option. Whereas if you're someone who's into your more strategic, slow-paced, maybe first-person VR shooters, and you want that pistol shooting haptic feeling, then maybe the Enforcer, the V2, will be the one for you. I'm calling it the V2, but you know what I mean. You've got like the V1, the first generation, the V2, which is this latest one, and then you've got the Revolt, which is what we've got here. So thank you to the team at Deadeye VR. Yes, I was sent this for free, but again, like all my videos, I'm under no duress. I can say what I want, and I am well impressed. Really good quality 3D printing. There's definite generational upgrades here. This is a really quality ball mount, a bit like you've got on camera equipment. Overall, I'm really impressed, and it's weighted well. I've set it up as a single sling, and because all the weight's in the back here, it just wants to drop and hang really well. So I like what's going on there. There's nothing that's front heavy, and I think for most people, that will be a positive. You know the drill. Like and subscribe, share these videos with all your crazy friends, and let's get into the video. I do love a good unboxing. Let's open the box. As always, nicely packaged. Really good protection where it counts, and I'm seeing some familiar parts already. If you are new to this particular Gunstock setup, then you won't have seen these before, but if you happen to have one of the original Enforcers or the sort of, I guess, version 2 Enforcer, which has changed the design somewhat, you'll be familiar with this. This is going to be part of the rear stock for the shoulder, but beautifully 3D printed, really good solid part. There's a fair bit of weight to that, so I'm assuming there's a fair bit of infill. That's where a little grub screw is going to go, and that restrains the, I guess, the 3D printed bracket to the actual tube. So we'll set that to the side. This is going to be our hand straps, and I like that the stock comes with this because especially this design, this new design Gunstock is a real quick access or a quick release style where we're not actually detaching the haptics from the stock. That all stays as one piece, and we're simply detaching the controllers, well, not even detaching, we've only got half cups. So I'm really keen to test this out. And this is an injection molded piece. I really like what we've got going on here. You can actually see that's not 3D printed. You can sort of see that shiny gloss to it there. This is, I think this is PVC or something, but that is basically a complete replacement for the battery cover on your Quest 3 controller. And this particular Velcro strap here trust me, it's really good. These little tiny Velcro pieces, I have used this strap style multiple times on and off, and these have never let go. And this will pretty much Velcro to anywhere on this here. So yeah, really do like what we've got going on there. Plus, these are for the base of the controller, little rubber hats that go on top of the thumbsticks. And this is the loop that goes at the bottom of the Quest 3 controller for you to connect the hand strap. Now, for those that are concerned, we do also have the wrist loops. If you're worried about the controllers, or you want to actually just drop the controllers by your side to, I don't know, pick up a beer and have a sip or something different, you can use these as well. I prefer not to use these wrist straps. I find they get in the way, but I like that they're included, and they're a really good quality, thick cord wrist strap. So yeah, really happy with that. And then a little polishing cloth. I like these little additions. So if you want to clean the stock down at all, or wipe down the carbon fiber tube, you can. So yeah, happy that that's included. Charge brick, pretty straightforward stuff. USB-C, I like that we are starting to see USB-C coming through on these different types of stocks. Pretty straightforward there. Now this is a Chinese style plug, but that's fine. I've got an adapter. So just be aware of that. If you're purchasing one of these, it may very well not come with the country specific adapter. Look, is that a big deal? I don't know. I guess for some it is, but I'm okay with it. I bought a universal adapter quite some time ago so that I could work around this from various manufacturers and not have too much of an issue. So for me, not really a deal breaker. For some, yeah, just something to be aware of. USB-C charge cable, I'm sure most people have got plenty of those, but good to see that it does come with one. Really good quality shoulder strap here. So we'll undo this harness and have a look. Man, this is good quality. I mean, that's a nice foamed piece of strap. We've got some really nice quick release buckles there. So happy to see that, or sort of, I guess, you know, U-clamps. And yeah, you'll be able to attach that nice and easily. And same on the other end. Yep, very good quality, and very happy with those. Okay, and I like this, the quick adjustment. That is a really good quality piece of kit. So we can pretty much just, oh, it's spring loaded too. So you can just pull that little rope there, and then you've got a nice quick adjustment on the sling. That's really cool. Okay, this bit is interesting. So this is going to be for I think this is for the forward cup. It looks like we've actually got a ball head there. Gosh, it's almost like from some camera equipment, but we've got a 3D printed part here. Oh, Deadeye VR is printed onto it there. That is really cool. Man, that's aluminium. That is, whoo-wee. So quick adjust there, and there's the half cup I spoke of, so you can pretty much get whatever adjustment you want, and then you can just quickly latch that down in position. That is super cool. I've not seen anything like that on a Gunstock before. That is really, really cool. And 3D printed part there, that's going to attach to it somehow. Looks like a insertion point there for the actual tube. So yeah, looks like the insertion point there for the tube. So we will check that out. Okay, now for the meat in the sandwich, the Gunstock. Now this is really interesting. Straight out of the gate, check this out. So we've got a cable. Why is there a cable connecting this part of the shoulder stock? Very interesting. We're just going to plonk that there. I mean, what's going on with this? Okay, I better be careful. That might actually be for the sling. Yeah, okay, I reckon that is for the sling. Oh, here it is. The piece de resistance. And there she is, my goodness. High quality 3D printing. I've always really liked the Deadeye VR stuff. And we can see here, we've actually got power cable running up into here, and this has got some weight to it. So already I think I know what's going on here. This has got the haptic module in it, and possibly even the battery, or maybe the battery is still contained in this section here, like the version 2 and the version 1. But that is the haptic module. I can already sort of see the shape of it up in there, that rounded shape. So that's got some weight to it. I quite like that actually. And oh, you little beauty. So it does come with a little bit of charge. So that is good to know, but we will put this on charge before we actually get on the game floor, just to make sure we are testing this with all its glory. But we're in full auto now. We can tell by the red button there. We press the yellow, that's going to be burst. and then blue is single fire. And then if we press and hold the button, you can see while that's flashing, we turn this dial to adjust the firing rate. I'll show you what I mean. So let's leave it in single. Oh, it is too, look at that. That's so cool. Okay, here we go. Wow. So that's the fire rate. You can see it's a bit doughy and delayed. So let's speed it up, press and hold, and we will speed that up. And that's almost 1-to-1 now, and we'll speed it up a bit more. Wow, that is like super responsive. Let's go full auto. Man, that's got a satisfying clack to it. Wow, so that's a bit doughy. Let's actually speed that up. Oh man, it's incredible. Wow, that's got a really good, it's not too loud. I don't know how loud it's going to come through on this recording after I've zhuzhed the audio a little bit, but I'll let you know a comparison of the different types so that if you do own one of the original Enforcers, you've got a good indication of noise. But I don't think that would annoy the neighbours or maybe someone in the room next door. Or maybe the room next door. But that is satisfying. Wow. So there we have it, looking really nice. We've got a USB-C charge port there. Pretty straightforward stuff. Got a little bit of Velcro restraint there to keep that cable management in place. This is obviously a quick release for the tube, and that cleaning cloth is handy if ever this tube gets a bit gummed up and is hard to slide in and out. Clean that down. And what do we got here? Yeah, so we've got actual metal bracketry under the bottom here. We've got that half cup design, and I'll quickly show you the controller and what I was talking about. So I've taken the battery cover off the stock controller, and you can actually see here, if we grab the battery cover that they have produced, this will clip straight into there. Now what you do need to do first is you attach this little metal piece, and it's keyed into the controller, slots straight in, and then we can get the battery restraint, locks and latches straight into here, and that's locked in really nicely. So then this can very easily go straight through there, straight around there, and hey presto, a knuckles style strap. So you can run and gun, quick release, and be straight back on the Gunstock. Right, let's get this assembled, and then we will report back and have a look at it put together. All right, all done. That was probably one of the quickest assemblies I've ever done. A couple of little grub screws, you can see them on the instruction card here that it comes with. A large one is for the rear. That basically goes up through this bracket system here, up through the carbon fiber tube, and just recesses in quite nicely. And I just like to feel across that to make sure it's flush. And then we've got a small grub screw for the front. That one goes up in through this section here. Again, once it's screwed in, I just have a feel, make sure it's flush. Don't screw it all the way in. You might crack or break something, or you won't have the grub screw holding it properly. So just make sure it's flush with the base of the bits of 3D print there, and you should be good to go. Okay, you saw the adjustment here for the stock. I really like that. It's a quick release, and then you can adjust that to where you want. You can adjust that on the fly, which I like. And we've got all the mounting hardware we need, plus we've got a few tools. So it comes with a few Allen keys, but probably got a million of those floating around. And then we've got our trusty mascot, and we've also got the Deadeye VR QR code that you can scan for the instructions for setup. But this one is so simple, probably one of the easiest ones I've set up. Okay, first thing I want to talk about is the sling. Some people like a double point sling. I prefer a single point sling, so it's picking up from the rear. And I'll show you what I mean. So look, I've adjusted it for the most part. We use this quick adjust here because we can actually, now that I've got the back section of the strap adjusted, we can fine tune quickly on the fly from here. But if you let go of it, so let's say we're in combat, we're shooting, we're moving, it wants to sort of tip downwards. So for me, yeah, I don't know, I wish wish the pickup points could have maybe been up on the side here, but then it's tricky for this point here. Where do you pick up from? I'll show you why I like the single point sling when it comes to gun stocks. So there it is, single point sling. This works so much better for me. I just find the strap gets in the way when it's a 2-point. It doesn't matter what gun stock I've used. I find a 2-point sling is just cumbersome. This one in particular, because it wants to fall forward, as you saw. Most of them aren't weighted properly anyway, so I just find that 2-point slings are no good. Because of the quick adjust here, if you want to, you can very easily just pull that and you can adjust that so that you've got quick adjustment if you're swapping for a friend to play. So I do like this attachment here. How quick and easy is that to make an adjustment? Then we can very easily engage, take out some targets, drop that by our side, switch to our secondary, grab a grenade, grab a sip on the beer, and then we are straight back into action. So single point sling is the way to go. And here we are, we're in Contractors. My personal opinion, this is the quintessential game to test this sort of stuff with. We've got a really good play floor, we've got a really good dynamic shooting range, and then we might even actually have a game of Contractors. I was going to do exfil, it's downloading at the moment. I've got a few glitches with it, so I'll line that out for another video, but for this one, we're testing the Gunstock, and here it is. It's hung by my side. Let's see what it's like when I go to grab it. So can I do it? Okay, it takes a little bit of getting used to, like anything, but that's feeling pretty good. So let's grab the AR and see what we think. I think we need to do some adjustments here. So yeah, let's just back that off. And we'll grab, and oh, how good is that? Like, look at this, the ability to make that fine adjustment. Man, that's pretty darn good. That is pretty darn good. Most gun stocks, you've got to stop, get out, you've got to muck around, Allen key, but this is a really quick adjustment. I reckon I'm right about there. Man, that is perfect. Okay, so let's tighten that down. That is good. Okay, what's it like? We drop, we grab our secondary, we can cup. Okay, chuck that there. Grab, we're back on. It's gonna take a little bit of getting used to, like I say. I feel like I wanna be grabbing down lower, but once I do actually grab the weapon, that is the correct spot. The length feels right. Yeah, length feels right. I'm looking down through the red dot nicely there. All right, let's test her out. So we're gonna go full auto and let's see what we think. Grab another clip. I can tune that in just a little bit. That's satisfying, man. That is satisfying. To feel that in your shoulder, man, that really is a satisfying. Wow, and it's really nice and firm too. I think there's something about having that pulled into the shoulder. It really is connecting with the body. You're feeling that haptic response right through the shoulder. I reckon we can tune that. So let's just go there, and I reckon we'll just speed that up just a little bit. All right, let's go again. Wow. That is a nice feeling, I must say. Right, let's go a single shot. Man, that feels really good. Let's load again, and I reckon we'll jump over this side, and let's see how we go on the target, single shot. All right, here we go. Let's see that grouping. I went one for the head. We'll bring it forward. Beautiful. The headshot I missed, but a nice grouping there. I'm really liking what we've got going on there. Now let's actually test out the sniper, because that's one thing that I always struggle with in this, but they have made some changes recently. So if we switch to our loadout and then we'll go to sniper, I absolutely love the SKS. We'll switch to that. Yes, please. All right, and we'll drop that, and here she is. So, Man, that is feeling really good. Looking down the sights, that is nice and clean. And they've definitely fixed something with this where if your hand is too far back, it'll stretch forward. You can sort of see there, I'm purposely grabbing it too far back and it'll stretch forward. So I do like that they've somewhat fixed that. And where the stock is, that is actually feeling in a good position. I could maybe put the stock back just a little bit. So we'll just bring that back a tad, lock that off, and yeah, that's heaps better. All right, let's go. Oh man. Wow, because I've got the chin rest and I'm resting, man, I'm feeling that right through my jawbone. That is an incredible. Wow, that's probably some of the best haptics I've felt alongside the 12 joule module from Pro Tube. That is, and that's saying something. Like, trust me, that's saying something. This is. Wow, that feels really good. What's the reload like? Can we get the, there she is, yep. Okay, she's in, lock and load. Wasn't too bad. Everything's in the right place. I'm not fouling on this as much. I find I was fouling on the Enforcer just a little bit, but this is certainly feeling a lot better, so. Man, that feels good. Right, now let's have a quick look at the SMG. So I reckon we'll go this little NP7A1. So here's one of the issues that I normally have with this is being able to actually get close enough to the weapon itself. Now, yeah, we definitely need to adjust the stock forward. Let's see what that's like. Okay, and yeah, okay, we've got to adjust this one. There we go. Bring that in. How far in can we go? Oh, that feels so good. I absolutely love that. Take a little while to get used to muscle memory where the latches are, but it's not a deal breaker. You can adjust that pretty quickly on the fly. And I mean, look at this thing. That is just so awesome. Oh man, that is just the best. And I'm not having to change that auto rate. From the M4, I'm not really having to adjust the fire rate. That fire rate feels close enough. And honestly, in the heat of battle, even though if you're a millisecond out, you're honestly not going to notice it between the haptics and the actual gun firing. I just can't stress that enough. You really don't notice it. Unless you're super picky and you want to fine tune it, you can. But for the most part, I don't even notice. That felt really good. So let's throw another clip in there. There we go. Okay, and we're back on target. Wow, that feels really cool. Now, I don't normally run these sort of weapons for the firing range, but guess what? I'm gonna do it today. So I reckon we stick with this little bad boy here. We're gonna lock and load. Let's get into the active firing range and give this a try. All right, here we are. We are ready to go. So we're gonna grab. Yep, we're in. All right, we've got our primary. Locked and loaded. Looking down the sights, we're feeling good. And let's go. Tango's down. Tango's down. Man, this thing is accurate. Locked and loaded. Man, I'm surprised how quick I am with it. I wasn't sure. Tango's down. Tango's down. Moving forward. Tango's down. Reloading. Yep, that's the primary mag. Okay. And we're back on. Tango's down. Tango's down. Just a little bit of reload. Oh. Man, quick reload on this thing. Nice. Tango's down. Okay. Switching to pistol. Nice and quick. Nice and quick. Lower level. Tango down. Tango down. Tango down. Whoop. Gotta reload. Tango down. Tango's down. Room clear. All right, switching back to primary. So let's see how we do it. Can we? Yep, little bit of jank. Little bit of jank. We'll grab another magazine. I don't know if I've loaded. I do like the reload on this. Tango's down. Pressing forward. Okay, switching back to secondary. Do we need another clip? We'll grab one anyway. Okay, let's go. Tango's down. Nice. Man, I'm pretty happy with that. That was feeling really good. And what have we got? 219. Not too bad. Being able to switch between secondary and primary is really not an issue. And I reckon I would be equally as quick once I had managed to dial in, possibly even quicker, because you're not sort of fumbling around to get that magnetic cup on, which has to be exactly in the right spot. Whereas with this, you can sort of make your way down and you don't have a cup sort of getting in the way. You can feel with your fingers where you need to be, and then you're on. I reckon we actually have a game and see how well we do against some AI. Okay, we're on single. Okay, we just need to adjust the forward attachment here real quick. So we can just get that forward. Yep, perfect. That's better. Okay. Moving. Remember, it's just me against them. God, I can hear some footsteps. Tango's down. Switching to secondary. Cartridge. Oh, they got me. Okay, we're in full auto. Whoa. Tango down, reload. Where am I getting shot from? Tango down. Switching to secondary. Oh, got me. Then we're in the open here. Whoa. Secondary. Reload. Okay. Back to our primary. Get in there. Oh man, they are coming. Tango down. Reload. Man, they're swarming. Tango down. Tango down. Switching to secondary. Oh no, we're out! There we have it, the Enforcer Revolt by the team at Deadeye VR. I would have to say, I personally think this is the most complete gun stock they've made yet. It's balanced well, it's quick to use, takes a little getting used to, but all gun stocks do. Once you do though, it is pretty quick to swap and change, and I love the fact that you can just drop. You've got your secondary, you can grab a grenade, and sometimes having that pistol in your hand can make it a bit clunky. So having your hands completely free apart from the controllers in them, I kind of like where that's going. It does also make it easy to make adjustments to the gun itself, and it's just balanced and weighted really well. So hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video.